Bang! Neeves Knives, I'm Jared, and today we're checking out a couple new Qvist knives from Jacob Lundquist, Qvist Blade Works. We're gonna first start off with the VANISH, which I gotta say, I like this thing a lot. You know, looking at it in the picture, I would have thought like, you know, it's like, it's okay. It's a little slip joint, right? I'm not the biggest fan of slip joints. But this one, this is really cool. One, that hole makes it real easy to pop out, and there's just something satisfying about it. Then at the half stop, because it has a half stop right there, it is super snappy. This thing locks in with a, well, not locks, but you know what I mean. It snaps open with authority. And the blade is 20 CV, titanium handles. It is a little bean, so it's, you know, it's a little compact knife, but that's also what's awesome about it. Kind of like the Spyderco Dragonfly, you know, that's a little tiny knife. It's similar to that in my opinion. This is going to be a knife that is going to be a utility cutting beast. If you needed to cut a strap or something, you absolutely could, because this shape handle is so good for the reverse grip. As far as breaking things down, you can get by and do it. It's not going to be obviously your work knife for breaking down cardboard, but it'll work in a pinch. And you know, it's really cool. Anyways, the sheath, you know, the sheath, it's okay. It's not the best quality sheath. The leather's good quality, but it's a little, I don't know. You know, maybe I just need to get some more sheaths. That's my thing. Let me know down in the comments some good sheath companies that I could reach out to, or that I could get some from, because I need to get some good quality sheaths, not just for this, but for other knives as well. I did see Lefty EDC. He's constantly got some really nice sheaths, and he's outshining me in the sheath department. I can't remember what company he keeps going to, but it works. So this one works just fine, you know, and you don't have to replace it if you don't want to, but if you wanted to, you could. It's still good. And for the price, this thing's $139. I gotta say, I am not mad at that price. 20 CV, titanium. No, it doesn't have a clip. I wish it did, but it's got T8 hardware all the way around. 5.25 inches overall, 2-inch blade length, so nice and small. It's going to be legal everywhere. Yeah, for 140 bucks, I'm not mad at it, and I will do my best to link that one down in the description. Next is the Variant PE3. Now the Variant PE3 is obviously a little bit bigger, with a 3-inch blade, still in 20 CV, and now this one is a titanium frame lock. So we have a locking version. It does have a milled titanium pocket clip, and I love that they put the cutout for the lock bar on the inside instead of the outside. That's going to make the clip go in and out of the pocket nice and smoothly. I love it when it's on the inside. It's also reversible, and it has a nice little filler tab, so that's really, really cool. Now, as far as action, man, this thing surprised the heck out of me. I was not expecting this thing to be as fidgety as it is. This thing is a fidget king. And as far as the front flipper goes, it almost feels like it was designed to do the side flip, because it is one of the best side flipping knives I've tried. I mean, it's just, it's not only satisfying, but it's addicting. You can also do the reach over. Perfectly fine, works really good. And then obviously the regular thumb flick. Now the whole deployment, great access to it. Nice leverage point, snaps out with authority, nice and comfortable. Also good access to the lock bar, even though it has a hole cut out. This side is cut back further than the lock bar, so very comfortable disengagement. And my goodness, is this thing smooth. And it is rock solid lockup. There's no play, but man, it almost feels like it's gonna, because of how smooth it is. Like you don't expect it to be as smooth as it is for such a lightweight blade. Now the thumb flick you can also do, or thumb roll. You do sometimes hit this little shelf right there for the thumb flick, but you can get by just fine. Also, this one's really easy to flick left-handed, so lefties, you are good. I put my finger right on the lock bar, and I can still easily reverse flick it, so you're not going to have an issue. And it doesn't have a bad detent, so it just, you know, it just happens to work really good. You know, yeah, it's going to get a little bit stiffer, but you'll be just fine. And since you can reverse the clip, you know, even better, right? It has nice acoustics. I like the sound of this thing. Now, as far as ergonomics go, I gotta admit, I'm not a fan of swaybacks, and this does have a swayback. So, you know, if you love sway backs, then this might not apply. But as far as I go, they're kind of awkward in the hand for me. Now, I do understand that a sway back shines in a utility cut. Because this comes back and it's nice and rounded, it's going to be nice and comfortable pushing into the palm of your hand, and you can push down really, really good, and this tip is going to be a utility cutting blade anyways. And then you have like this little shelf right here for your knuckle to pull back on. So detailing work, utility cuts, pinch grips, all that's going to be really, really good. Also, turning it around and cutting straps. This thing was like, it's the most comfortable grip is the reverse grip with this knife. It just seems like it's made for it. So if you're cutting straps, ropes, or, you know, like tie straps or zip ties or whatever all day, this might be right up your alley, because this is very, very comfortable. And the blade shape works great for trapping things and pulling. So really good in that sense. But as far as turning it around, I have to choke up pretty close to the edge in order for it to be comfortable to let the sway back part out of my palm. But when I choke back here like this, it's just a little awkward. I'm not mad at it. You know, it's not like uncomfortably or unbearably uncomfortable. There's no hot spot, but it's awkward. I can feel this kind of pushing up into my palm. Could I use it still? Absolutely. I would have no problem still using it, breaking down cardboard or doing whatever I need. But, you know, it's a little bit awkward. So, you know, let's get into a couple negatives really quick. Now, before that, let's talk about the price. The price is $189. Not too bad. For 20 CV titanium frame lock, 3-inch blade, not too bad. 2.9 ounces. And by the way, it does have a lot of milling on the inside to bring down that weight. But, you know, it's kind of at the higher end, I would say, but it's still really good, you know, considering the materials and everything. QSP is the manufacturer of these. Now, I do not know, and this isn't technically not a negative, so I want to be clear about that. I do not know exactly how well they heat treat their 20 CV. I've never done an edge retention test. I've never even seen them HRC test. I do have some of my own. Maybe we'll do that in the future, but I haven't done it, so I'm not going to act like I have. So I do not know how well their 20 CV is. Hopefully, it is good. I'm sure it's at least fine, but I don't know about being great or anything like that. Now, as far as negatives go, one thing is this says it's a hollow grind, and it is absolutely not a hollow. I've double, triple, and quadruple checked it. It is 100% a flat grind. This is a flat surface, and you can see it is flat. So I do not know, maybe it's just a mistake on my paper, but the paper I got says a hollow grind. Not a big deal. It still slices really good. It is nice and slim geometry, so it'll still slice just fine, but it says hollow. I thought that was weird. Other than that, the one other thing is sharpen tool and plunge grind. They drop the plunge grind to the edge, or at least close to the edge. So this, everybody thinks that like where the plunge grind starts, that's what we're worried about. We're not worried about where the plunge grind starts. We're worried about where it ends. So it starts here and it ends right where you see like the shiny spot. The end of the shining spot is the end of the plunge grind. So it makes it to where you only have maybe one good sharpening before you start hitting that plunge grind. You could cut your own in, because where they put the stop pin is in a good place, so they didn't put it right back here. They put it up there. So it's out of the way if you did want to cut in your own notch, which I do always appreciate. As far as the VANISH goes, it has a better sharpening tool and plunger, and I'm happy with this one. You can see where it starts, where it ends. It gave you plenty of life to sharpen off of this one, and so I'm happy with that. The only complaint I have with this, which honestly I have no complaints over this, no complaints. But if I would love to have a clip on it. So that's not a complaint. It's just, you know, I'd like to see that. As far as this goes, really that's all for complaints. The one other little thing I could nitpick about is just, you know, that, you know, it's a little bit awkward in the hand, you know, kind of like most sway backs are. So is it that big of a deal? Not really. But I will say this is priced very well at $140. I think $140 for the 20 CV titanium, and just how useful this little blade's going to be, I don't think that's a bad price at all. And $189 for this one, it's not outrageous either. There is a lot more, you know, with this one. They had to tune a lock bar, you know, they had to put milled titanium pocket clip, reversible, you know, it's obviously bigger, and, you know, so there is quite a bit more work done on this one, so you can see where the price went. Anyways, like I said, I'll have everything I can linked down in the description. Until next time, peace.